Good morning, everybody. So the leaders were sold yesterday pretty aggressively, and we'll assume it's the start of something. And even though today is that quarterly options expiration, when you get a wide range bar like that, it was above the prior day's high, so it gapped up. It gave it back. Oh, the trend is still up. We'll see where this weekly bar ends. It could be the first slowing momentum bar and rejection of the higher high on the semiconductors. And of course, when you're talking about that, you got to look at NVIDIA, which was sold pretty aggressively, big outside day. You got another one over here, so everything we do is just based on price patterns. And does the past equal the present and future? Which, of course, sometimes it does and it doesn't. But same kind of higher day, big reversal back down again. And it didn't drop right away. He had this retest little trading range, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen this way. I mean, it could just head straight down to the 20. In reality, we don't know. All we know is we have a reversal bar in a strong uptrend. That's a bit extended. Odds are it's going to correct a bit. The hourly time frame is on support, so it may not do very much. I looked at options expiring today. There wasn't anything of great significance in NVIDIA anyway. So there's nothing to glean from that. So for right now, just see where this is trading at the moment. 127.30. No, it's gapping down a bit here, right? 127.30-ish. Looks like this little bitty unfilled gap right here, give or take, and that pivot low. That area. So on the next support, I don't think it's going to do very much, but we'll see how this unfolds, which considering that it is lower, we're going to have a topping tail type of a bar unless it has a miraculous recovery today. And there were other kinks in the armor. Apple had, that big up 2 days, and now it's pulling back a bit. We'll see how much this pulls in. And it was pretty broad-based. All of these still strong, but suggesting some kind of corrective price action. All right, taking a look around the markets. The Dow had a decent day. The worst, looked like it was going to go lower. It's just sloppy, disgusting chart. Buyers stepped up there, without going and looking at each of the 30 stocks, whatever showed some strength. We'll see if that continues or whether it's just related to the options expiration and things flip back down again. Transports had a decent day within a downtrend. We'll see what happens from here. Below all the moving averages. All right, regain the 20. Big deal. 50 is declining, 20 is declining. The 200 is declining. So all time frames, moving averages pointing lower. Not a good sign. SPY. Not such a big deal because while it's has been the beneficiary of technology and other things softened, financials strengthened, like XLF and some of the financials strengthened. So we have a little bit of an outside reversal day, bearish engulfing, whatever. It's not that big of a bar. It's not as ominous as the one in the semiconductor stocks. But we'll see if financials can continue to show some strength because they're into resistance here. Looking where spiders are here. They're gapping below yesterday's low, or right in the area of yesterday's low, which is 545.18. Right now it's trading at 544.95. So gapping down below this low. Next support level is nearby. So while it does have what I'll call a minor void, there is no significant void to suggest any kind of a substantial movement today. When you have the distance between support and resistance relatively close, odds are you're going to get stuck between those two levels until one or the other is retested and prices can get above or below. Now, that being said, there's nothing much happening here today. Just a point of, I guess, educational information. Anytime you have prices slice through an area of support as if it's not there, that's a powerful signal. And we don't have that today. I just pointed out sometimes, we do. Kind of something like this bar right here. Let's put a little mark on that. That was another outside reversal day, big day there, where you had this support level and it just sliced right through it. I don't know what it did in intraday. It doesn't matter. It's just to recognize on this time frame that it did. And it pulled back. We had that pull back to the 50 and the big wide range reversal bar there, range expansion bar. And it, kind of did the right thing from my point of view. Remember, the conversation at the time was like, this is kind of weird, this pattern historically. But then it had 2 days of consolidation and a building the little support area similar to this. Let me spread that out a little bit. Similar to this, big wide range bar, and then building a resistance area in the lower 50% of that wide range bar. And this, after that big reversal, it stayed in the upper 50%. And then I forget what the news was that day. It came up and back into the chop, gap up, more chop, and so on. All right, so SPX, options expiration, maybe you want to stand aside, but I don't know. Again, where prices are opening for the moment, the strikes are about 50%, give or take, above and below. And while quarterly options expiration could move things substantially, we have to apply the same analysis, meaning it's opening in the middle of this area here. There's support down here, where this is where the lower strike is. But if things head down in the morning, if there's premium below 5,400, I think that would be a no-brainer. And with these pivots there, a whole number. There is some, go back and look here. 5,400 open interest. Whatever. It's the huge open interest expiring today is at 5,300, and I don't believe that's ever coming into play. But that'll just expire. The calls will expire in the money. There's the same amount, almost the same amount of open interest in the puts expiring today. So just too far away to really come into play today. Interest rates, not doing much of anything here. Trending down. We've talked about lower 50% of the red bar. Building a little shelf of resistance, assuming it breaks lower. It's hanging on the area of that pivot, but, coming down. Let's see if it comes down next week into this area of 4%. And I've already mentioned, but if this is going down and the transports continue, if they break down, I think more and more information starts to unfold of a slowing economy and, what stocks come into play from there. Other transports continuing to move lower. For example, JBHT, I'm not sure if it's bottoming yet, where it's retesting this pivot, but maybe it could get something going. It hasn't been able to. So another bearish sign. It's on these pivots just dangling there. Most likely it's just waiting for next week to get past, this quarterly options expiration, and we'll see which way many of these stocks start to either reverse or continue. KRE mentioned earlier in the week, hanging on this support area. Set an alert down there. You can set an alert up above the pivot because what's going on in between here is just noise. No interest in things like that. Financials, a little bit of strength, but coming up into resistance. Yesterday we looked at a whole bunch of different ETFs and reviewed that while, the S&P and the NASDAQ tech is in an uptrend. So many things are just in the middle of trading ranges and are directionless and are not providing, great opportunities to do much of anything. And so depending on, some of these reversals and where they hold, it leads more toward a vehicle of credit spreads where prices are basically directionless and where you can find premium, below support areas or above resistance areas, and relatively short days to expiration provide, those opportunities. FTX bottoming, maybe, maybe. I wouldn't count on it just yet. Ideally, look, the more concepts we can have aligned, in our bias, the better. Not that it always sets up that way, but if FedEx was down here, right on this major support area, it's close. That would be something extra. Now, the way we define building new support is to recognize that there's a pivot. What's a pivot? A bar with 3 higher lows to the left and right, a pivot low, and then it's retested, it held. And now when this bar starts trading today, the software will put PL below that bar. But now you've got pivot highs and pivot lows opposing each other. So maybe we'll just have to see. Again, Robert, it doesn't have to come down here because that's why we have the concept of support and resistance look to the left. Is it in there? Well, historically, we know it doesn't always get down there. So the other concept is creating support and resistance. And that leads to the creation of pivot lows and pivot highs. In this case, creating a trading range. And so there's nothing really to do here unless there was, and I highly doubt that there is options expiring today that has premium where we could get on the other side, of a put spread. I mean, you could always look, but that's, my impression that, it's not that far away, and to find premium expiring at the end of today, going to be less likely. Well, yeah, of course we saw the turn in rates lower. I mean, this is the 10-year. We had talked back here about this was trending up and coming down, to this support, because it was coming down and it made the turn. And obviously it flipped right back down again. And, what I was saying, coming possibly down to 4% would make sense because this is just building a little potential resistance area if it breaks these lows. And so if we look at the 30-year, similarly down, it broke through this support. It's sitting on this support. We got the same wide range bar down. So, and I've talked about this in the past with interest rates moving down or moving up, it's related to supply and demand, which is everything. Is there a strong demand to borrow money? If there is, interest rates go up. If there isn't, interest rates go down. And so, with inflation, interest rates go up because people that are lending that money want a higher return because of the inflation. Whereas if it starts going down and the transports are going down, that leads more toward slowing of economy. And then you look at things like whether it's Federal Express or retailers, other, intermarket relationships. And now I'm going to drop off here. What is going on with oil? So that flies in the face of the recession thing or the slowing economy, because if there's a strong demand for oil, where is the strength? Why is that going up? Unless there's just a limited supply, I don't know. But if this was going down, the transports were going down, interest rates were going down, it certainly would lead to a pretty strong bias that the economy is slowing. So we'll see what today brings. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Right. To you, Daniel.
Good morning. Greg, I'm good.
Sounds like you got two mics on.
But
Try sharing your screen, Dan. I mean, you're logged in as me again, so I don't know if that's having an effect. You got to turn your mic on, Dan.
on the big
Dan, I don't see that your mic is on.
testing.
Mm-mm. Try it now, Dan.
Testing.
Oh, try unplugging your mic from the other computer. I mean, it's off, but I don't know why it would be echoing.
Sound check. All right, I turned it off. Can you hear me now? I turned it off on,
Good.
I turned it off the big computer, period. So I'm speaking through the mic on the laptop. Wait, I'm on vacation. Oh, all right, cool. So let's just start with earnings here. I don't have any alarms going off really. Swabby, we did the $15 put spread. All right, so this is gapping down. It's a bearish gap under support. We have the 15s that expire today, so I just gotta sit tight. I'm bidding a nickel. I just put an order out and we'll see what happens. But like with always with earnings, it's probably gonna be crazy spreads until minimum 5 minutes. So this one we did an iron condor. Far away, we have the 80s and the I don't know what 62 and a half. Profit at the open, and I'm not gonna do nothing on this one. I gave you new stops. Yeah, we have the AMX, we have the 62 and a half, 60, so that is far away. ASTL earnings, I don't like the way it trades, but a big old pop up here. FDS, I said it was a double bottom, new low plus. I was hoping it opened flat. I have one alarm going off here at 421, but it's not liquid, so we'll come back to you. And fast, I just had an alarm go off. Bottoming pattern. Alarm went off up here. This is like a fast here. We're going to be MT live next week for this bottoming patterns. So I heard you all talking about FedEx. Yeah, it'd be a great put spread. I'll wait for the open, check it for next week. DRI had earnings yesterday. It was a 1, 2, 3. I'll check that for put spread. A tree had a data breach. I remember this when this thing was, yeah, I remember it over $300. This is that lending tree out of Atlanta. That thing is getting killed. AMD had an igniting bar yesterday, but 50% top and tail. My gen alarm just went off. You see the pop up here. Let's put my gen here. BMO. Why am I? Oh, I saw a print down $4, but come across the ticker, but I don't see it. Yeah, we've been saying in the weekend letter with the narrow breadth on this AI stuff that, NVIDIA was probably going to wag the tail in the semis and the Qs and even the spiders with the big run up. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. Jeff Kernan was talking about AI today and he's like, garbage in, garbage out, of this AI. So he said nothing's really changed. How do you get the truth? You're going to rely on this AI thing? It's going to spit out, just regurgitate what's already out there. And he says, so really, the markets are worth $3 trillion more on this? And that's, I know there's great applications for it, but I think that it's got ahead of itself like every other 10-year bubble that we get into. Hot stocks, internet, and AI, always a bubble. Um, Apple got an upgrade to two. Um, I just always shake my head when idiots late to the party. Now you're upgrading it after a run from 165. Now you're doing it. Whatever. All kinds of conflicts on Wall Street. Arm here, 180 reversal, breakout failure. This could be a day trade short. That's a beautiful 15. Beautiful 15. Downtrend, gapping down, bearish pre-market. You can short a 5-minute low as a day trade. And, you know, tight start with a stop over this closing pivot. Once it gets some downward momentum, you can move it over this premium. Or my sounds through the function key are not working. So we'll do some research. All right, so this I mentioned call spread, 5-minute low I like. ABB alarm. Oh, nice up alarm. We sat through a tiny pullback yesterday. Is this real? I mean, I see the big old bar. If it is, let's sell a third right here. That's a nice pop.
MYGN, it's going to trigger. And you want to do 5-minute high.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it looks fantastic. Yeah. I mean, I posted it as a watch yesterday, but with deep retracement, I didn't do it. Wow, is that thing spready or what? Telegram, but I need a few minutes to get things in order. McDonald's, oh, yeah, nice. And I gave it yesterday at 62 and I said add it 82. And that's exactly where we got filled down here on this pullback for 82. Was a great ad. See, Swabby is not doing so good now. Um, you know what, let's close it at 20 right now. Shoot, I just lost the bid offer. Shoot. Um, so let's close it. Just the short put only. So they'll still give us a nickel a share gain. Took that out at 20 and I wasn't watching it. See, that's my fault. I was not. Well, that cost me, darn it. Should have been paying attention. That was a bearish gap. Yeah, but KMX is doing good. Alex, I don't have time for that. Just sell it. I mean, is it real? I didn't check spreads or anything. I, that all I said was, if that's real, do it. I gain on mine. Really? All right. At least so I took a loss on that Swabby actually, but my gain on the KMX paid for it. Yeah, Allie, you mentioned yesterday. Yeah, my alarm just went off. This would be a fantastic 30-minute low. Just let it, try to hang on by a thread nail would be great. Fifty-two, 40. 18 cents. Let's go ahead and close half, 255. Sam's Caesar's Palace still looking good. So Allie we know about. I like a 30-minute low I like. We we're still short this one. Went against us. Microsoft in the planning department. Oh, was accused of up and weak. Surprised more the good. If it closes like this, is a multi-week bullish consolidation. Amazon, I had as a put spread watch today, but no good juice. Charging now for Siri in your whatever it's called, Alexa in your house. Talking about um, privacy of these banks, etc. After I got the motherboard installed and the dude was still here, so some alert came up from Microsoft saying, hey, do you want them to be able to watch you anywhere where your laptop is? Hell no. But yeah, I think that sound is a problem now with this motherboard, the function key and it's not shutting off the mic or whatever. I like Allie. Um, let's do a half lot here, half lot 30-minute low. Low alarm. Real. Let that break out, but not acting right. Oh, oh, let's stop. Okay, it's an early alarm on com. Oh, oh, actually, that's why my alarm went off. I said we're under 103.95. So that's why. Oh, Swabby. Now let's try to sell our, I'm gonna put an offer out for a nickel. Probably I'm doing great. I guess still a sign of nervousness. Your BMY doing well. We're focusing on opens.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
wow.
see if you like Meta 505 10 wide today, about 30 cents. It's going to get less soon.
Yeah, I'm fine with it for zero DTE just because the Qs are weak. So that's the only reason. 5 hour wide is 26.
Bottoming stock, or maybe a play next week. PSX, basing on the 200.
Alarm went off, but nothing to do. I adjusted XBI alarm. putting sexual ads in front of people, or sexual video recommendations. I don't like this consolidation at all on the bottom half of this without some type of. um, It's snow also. It's, well, man, it has to get over this red bar minimum. Yeah. Oh, I had it here, Alex. Yeah, work day I wrote that down yesterday. And then LDOS on yesterday's high. And the pseudo 123, which was a call spread but no juice. I like. I'm gonna set a new alarm, 6540. Oh, nice slow. 49.23. I told you I like it a lot. It's a climb on the 15, so I really enjoy it here.